welcome back to Real Grabs. Apparently the only show on YouTube that agrees that you should face repercussion for hitting your coworkers. So obviously, as I'm sure you know, CM Punk recently did an interview with Ariel Helwani, who is a completely different video, about his time in AEW, his time in WWE so far, and kind of just no holds barred, talking about whatever Ariel wanted to know about. And this is a big topic. This is, a lot of stuff came out. So I figure I sit down, make a little video, kind of recapping it, giving my own thoughts, and just talking about it in general. One of the first big things that Punk talked about was asking for his release from AEW and not having it granted by Tony Khan. A lot of people are upset about this, like, oh, if Punk wanted his release, why wouldn't you let him go? Because he's under contract, right? Like, you signed a piece of paper that says, I will work here for this amount of money for this amount of time. And that contract is not up yet. So legally, you've still got to come to work, right? Big deal. No, I think it'll definitely be one of the more blown out of proportion things in coming weeks and months and probably years with how much people give a shit about the Brawl Out and All In. But I think this is really nothing. I think this is nothing to be discussed at all, frankly. Of course, he talked about Jack Perry a lot, and I think this whole situation is hilarious. I always have. I think Real Glass, Go Cry Me a River is one of the funniest things in context ever said on a professional wrestling screen, and it's made its way into my daily vocabulary. I'll knock on something and say Real Glass just whenever, and I love it. But I think it's funny how he kind of contradicted himself, where he was like, I wasn't really violent, any, stories of my violence was drastically overblown, but let me find the quote here. He says, this is an actual quote, I didn't punch anybody, I just choked somebody a little bit. A little bit, man? like, I feel like I just choked somebody is not something that should precede a little bit in my eyes. But, yeah, you've heard a billion takes about the all-in Jack Perry situation, and frankly, you're probably as tired of hearing it as I am, so I'm gonna move on. Next, he talks about Tony Khan a lot. I've never met Tony Khan, so I'm not gonna sit here and defend him and call him a nice guy or a great person, because that's just not who I am, frankly. But he says, quote, he is not a boss, he's a nice guy, and I think ultimately that is a detriment to the company, but it's not my company. This is a funny thing to say. This has been said a lot, and from what I hear, this is valid, I guess, criticism of Tony Khan. Me personally, I would like my boss to be nice, but I think it's funny to hear CM Punk saying it specifically, because he is one of the main people who benefited from Tony Khan being like a really nice guy. He got into a fight with his bosses. Like, let's not forget, we know the characters. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson are both actual EVPs. That's your boss, dude. And in 2021, you got into a physical altercation with them and weren't, fired. That's insane. That same niceness that you're complaining about was extended to you. You were not exempt from this. In fact, you were a very big benefactor of it. He gave you your own show as well to kind of separate you and the Bucks after this incident happened. Incredibly funny to me that he would complain about this after benefiting so much from it. He also kind of made fun of Tony Khan for saying I feared for my life backstage after the All Out stuff, and I don't know, maybe that's a little funny, but the thing I kind of took issue with, I don't take issue with any of this, but the thing I thought was a little odd was he said, quote, there was a concerted effort to, I guess, slander me and try to ruin my character. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. He went out and All Out and said CM Punk has been fired because he attacked somebody backstage, and this AEW is not going to be a place where that's okay, so we had to fire him. That's not really slandering your character. I feel like that's just telling people what you did. And after that, there wasn't really any like concerted effort to make people believe, oh, CM Punk is a bad guy, CM Punk is violent and aggressive and a piece of shit, from AEW themselves, the fans, maybe, I don't know, AEW, Tony Khan, anyone is not in control of any fan base, but I thought that was a little odd and a little kind of factually incorrect. Next he talks about the Hangman Adam Page promo that started kind of Brawl Out 2022, and that was also super dumb to me. I don't want to misrepresent what he's saying, so I'm going to read you the exact quote. He said, quote, I went to Tony and the lawyer and I said, quote, you need to fix that because if I do, you're not going to like the way I fix it, end quote. And I thought I was being professional by not just murdering him on television. Over a promo, man? Like, he's supposed to make you look and feel bad. It's a promo. Going to a lawyer because you didn't like what he said in a promo, even though, in my opinion, it was a great promo, is at best very incredibly soft of you, right? You've been in the business long enough to understand that that's not what you should do, and yet you do it anyway, and you make a big deal out of him kind of going off script and playing into the, you know, invader versus longtime AEW workhorse angle. And I don't know. I kind of take issue with that. I think it's incredibly soft of him. I think it's stupid, and it does not make him look very good to me. The only thing that I like legitimately was like, wow, like you sound like a piece of shit right now, and you are dead wrong, and I really don't like that you said this, was he said that wrestling was kind of ruined by big money and specifically guaranteed money in contracts. No, that's not true. Workers should make wages proportionate to how much money they're bringing in and how much they deserve. Accountants don't have, like, incentive-based contracts. Accountants get paid guaranteed money. Like, if my dad goes into work every day, he gets paid exactly as much as it says is in his contract. That was really dumb to me, and it kind of says to me I don't care about the other people in this business maybe not getting paid as much as they should, because I'm getting paid money, and that's all I really care about, when in reality wrestlers have been underpaid and mistreated for a long time. And I didn't think I was going to do this in this video, but roll the clip.
You talk a big game about workers' rights, yeah? Well, you've shown the exact opposite since you've gotten here.
Props where props are due. Completely condemned the Vince McMahon situation. He put out a much stronger, harsher, and definitive statement than any other WWE wrestler that I have seen do so, including John Cena, who, if you haven't heard his comments, look them up. I understand that it's kind of a difficult situation for a lot of people because this was the guy who you haven't necessarily had bad experiences with and who kind of gave you your livelihood and your fame and your success. But it was good to see somebody in the company and a working wrestler who was a big name come out and say, yeah, fuck this guy, he needs to be punished, there are victims here, and there need to be severe repercussions for his actions. And that was awesome to hear. That was really, it gave me a lot of hope, and it was very uplifting. That's going to be it for me today, though. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Short video today. Monday Night Raw review will be out tomorrow. Very excited for Mania. Going to do some picks and predictions later in the week. Probably coming out Friday or Thursday, just so we're like super close to Mania, but I still want to get like the whole card solidified before I make a video and like don't miss a match or anything. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna catch you.